Hello viewers, I hope you're enjoying watching each episode of Youth Works. And this week we have Odomelo Tranyomwe from Kabale district, who is transforming communities through winemaking using pineapples. In this episode, you'll get to know that when you're having a business, it is always good to partner with communities. And I hope you'll enjoy watching each episode of Youth Works.
Kabale district is a district in western Uganda. As with most other Ugandan districts, it is named after its chief town, Kabale. It's a highland district and it covers 1,827 square kilometers. The topography is mainly green, interlocking and heavily cultivated hills with spectacular valleys. The district is one of the major pineapple growing areas in Uganda. The pineapples are majorly produced in Maziba, Kahondo and Kahoro sub-counties. And basing on this record, one young man decided to engage his community to put this fruit to better use.
Maziba fruit wine makes wine from fruits, but currently we are using two types of fruits. We make wine from bananas and also wine from pineapples. Majorly the one which we make in large quantity is wine from pineapples, because pineapples are in plenty. Farmers are producing a lot of pineapples, and these pineapples formerly used to become rotten because the prices were very low. In fact, they used to sell them at around 100 shillings per pineapple, and there was no market for pineapples. So farmers decided to sit down. In fact, when my mzee retired, he made that association. He called some farmers, and the farmers who decided to join, they had to make a group called Maziba Fruit Wine. So when they made that group, they started with pineapples majorly to see. In fact, initially they started by making this pineapple juice, of which pineapple juice did not work away. It could not even stay for 2 days. So members decided to run out of the group. They said this one will not work. So that's when I told them. In fact, I was close to Bella Wine in Kampala. Then I took my mother, introduced him to Bella Wine in Kampala. That woman, she has a project around one day there. So she gave us the details of how to make pineapple wine and many other things.
With 5 years of consistency in this business, what really inspired this young entrepreneur to effect his passion?
I had planted a lot of pineapples behind this mountain, behind there, when I was still on a vacation of senior 6. But I used to see many people were throwing away pineapples, people were not buying, and the prices were very, very little. So I said, as an agriculture, because I had studied some bit of agriculture also somehow, I said, why can't we make these things where they can get some product, whether we can add value to these pineapples? So what we did, I had to educate them, because I was the educator, and they agreed with me. Then we started.
Capital can be well defined as the investment made in any industry or business. Odomaro discloses how much money and skills they started with.
In fact, we started with 100,000, but that was a contribution from members. And in fact, most of them were not skilled, so we had to keep on directing them what to do. So as time went on, they ended up getting skilled. So currently now they are more skilled, but it was through directives, because I could copy the knowledge from somewhere, I bring it to them.
Starting up a business can be like a roller coaster, filled with ups and downs. This young entrepreneur shares the challenges they encountered initially.
When we were starting, we had a lot of challenges. First of all, we had a problem of capital, because even that 100 could not buy a saucepan. So we had a problem of capital. Then another challenge we used to have, by that time we had poor roads. In fact, this one is still poor, but this road was impassable. So everything was to be carried on our heads. So we used to use physical labor. And the work had to be done, it was manual. not using any machine. Then another challenge we used to have, our wine was not known anywhere. So we could have a challenge of telling people that this is wine, because villagers used not to know what wine is.
This young entrepreneur boasts of the market share achieved so far around Kabale.
Our target market, we use target everywhere, but currently we have the local markets because it is now known in the Kabale district, majorly known Kabale district. Most villagers, in fact, they no longer drink any other drink apart from wine, because you see we have a problem of banana wilt. We no longer have this local mwenge bigere, so everybody now is enjoying wine throughout. So many people buy it from here. Even those outside the Kabale, they also make some orders.
After establishing your brand and you have ready market available, you need a constant flow of produce. Odomaro describes how much wine Maziba produces on a monthly basis.
Now the wine we produce is, we can produce like 1,000 liters when we sit down to make, because we can use over 1,000 pineapples in a day. Then we make like 1,000 liters per day. But that one we normally make it monthly. Every month at least we make wine. So that is a constant flow of wine throughout.
When you put aside what your concerns are about what other people think and you trust in your idea, then your initiative is destined to grow. Is Odomaro in sync with this statement?
When I look at our wine, it is very, very unique in that it is made from our local fruits, which everybody knows. They know what pineapples are. And secondly, people who take it, this is the way how they place it. They say when you take this wine, it eases the digestion of food. You know, we people in the village, we eat a lot of food. Sometimes you find you eat a lot and the stomach swells. But when you take that wine, this is the way it breaks down the food. And it does not bring hangover the way I see, because nobody has ever complained of that. In fact, they like taking it every after a meal.
In any business, everyone hopes to report only profits. But if you end up with a loss instead...
There was one time when we made a very big loss, because we had wanted also to try wine from pineapple husks, so that we don't throw away the husks. So when we used husks, I don't know what happened, but the wine which came from husks, it was not the best. So that was a loss. In fact, we had made a lot of it, only from pineapple husks, to see whether you can also make wine. So that was a big loss which we made. So currently we first remove the husks, then we use the fruit. Then afterwards we also cook the husks afterwards to add on the other juice.
Labor is very key, especially if you need efficiency in any project. But how does Odomaro manage putting the large terrace in consideration?
The land is too big actually, but the manpower we use human labor. We are the people cultivating it ourselves, because you cannot bring a tractor here. Okay, we don't have money to purchase that. So we use our human labor. In fact, we have many members who work in this association. So we normally call them here, they work, then we pay them some wages. Initially, the raw materials we use, they come from members' farms, because every member was encouraged to plant at least 3 acres of pineapples.
Odomaro also shares how this business has changed his life from what he was before.
So as an individual, I have managed to improve on my education, because initially I was a diploma holder. So when I started earning, I had to go for a degree. I've also managed to set up to buy a Kasumoro plot in Kampala through the earnings that I get around.
Teamwork is also another key factor that upcoming entrepreneurs have to embrace. Odomaro attributes the success so far to fellow team members and organizations.
I do attribute this project to my members who managed to join us, because they are the ones that are doing a very, very commendable job. They put in a lot of efforts. So without them, this project could not go on, and they have managed to endure up to this time.
Every business is like a family. It can go off the rails at times, and in so being, challenges are inevitable.
The first challenge we are facing is we lack labels. Our wine is not sold in supermarkets currently. So there is that problem available. The second problem we are facing is transportation of this wine. Currently we produce a lot of wine, but we have to carry it on our heads. These members help to carry. We even put in a lot of manpower. So there is a problem of transportation. Then another challenge we are facing, sometimes it may not be the season. And when it is not the season, we may not harvest enough pineapples. So the prices go high. So we have to go and import, and we have to go and buy from other members very far away from this place. And we carry it on our heads. So we are still facing that challenge. Then also another challenge, we still need more equipment. More equipment. Then we're also facing a challenge. We don't have a factory. You can see we are producing it from villages. You have seen how roads are. So we need a factory, at least which is well equipped, that can help us to produce more.
Among the challenges I'm facing is how to market my product into supermarkets.
I want to try and see how can we use the internal marketing strategies. How can we talk to people, you know? How can we leverage on the networks that we have to see how we can put your product onto the shelf.